KTG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand,
And it's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic.
VP4TV.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to VP4TV. I was hoping Slim would be here tonight to catch this one, but clearly he isn't. We've got a round two match. It might be one of the last ones, although Larry's still not got his match arranged, so Larry's probably going to be through to round three, like I said. This is a match between Spud Boy and Stub, Real Poland Power, and that goes ahead at the top of the hour in about a minute's time. That schedule that I showed a second ago shows this match, and Brainflout's got his one-loss side match arranged with Linus, and that's for Monday afternoon. I'll be coming home from work at that time, so I won't be there for that. This, of course, is the 1st of December today. Only 24 days to go to Christmas. There's something to look forward to. So room will be going up, race to 11, and as far as Spud Boy's concerned, he's already decided it's going to be a bloodbath, and he's going to be on the end of the bloodbath. Well, I just think if he applies himself and focuses and thinks about what he's doing, it might not be quite as much of a bloodbath if he at least gets that into his head, because everybody can't get used to this cue ball. We've seen that, plenty of evidence of it. It'll be just as much of a problem for Stub, because Stub's going into this pretty much thinking it's a foregone conclusion. It will be if Spud Boy's not interested and doesn't want to make a game of it. So the room is up. We'll get in and we'll hang about waiting for Stub to eventually get himself in. Welcome to Coldest Pillow. And Stub will, as usual, mess about before he decides to get in. That's it, 24 days till Christmas. And I've got 4 days where I'm going to bed about probably 7:30, 8 o'clock to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, get ready, drive to work, start at 4 a.m, finish at noon. 4 days in the trot I've got of that. I've done it for the last 9 years, so this will be the 10th year I've done it. Stubbs' biggest fan turns on him. Who's that then? Who's? I didn't know Stubb had any fans. So, clock's counting. We're over a minute gone. Well, with any luck, Stubbs fallen asleep or he's listening to trash music and he's totally disorientated himself, or he's smoking something, and Spud Boy might get a bye. You never know. Is that right that you get... maybe that's why. Do you get Stubb in the next round then? Let's have a look. Oh no, it's what do you call him? Semi-Plonker will play Stub in the next round, provided Spud Boy doesn't want to be any part of it. Oh, I forgot Coldest Pillows got Albinario. I'm sure you'd much rather have Stub. Mind you, Albinario's there for the taking. Still can't believe how close Brainful Out came to taking him down. Right, here we go, he's in. And we'll have the lag for the break. Stub is on the right-hand side. No sign of life out of his queue. Well, there it is now. Pretty good lag from Spud Boy. And Spud Boy wins the lag. Well, that's a good start. Welcome to Brainful Out. I love that chat, so I do. I really do love that chat that's on the screen. It's so much clearer. And I can see people's names as well. No, that's just stubbish. Now, stubbish is a language that it's actually a mixture of two things. It's a mixture of two words. It's a mixture of Stub himself and rubbish. Needless to say, it's a load of bullshit. That's what it is. Well, Spud has broke off, and I believe he was dry. So let's watch how Stub deals with issues. It'll be the usual way. It'll be a good bang. Because he's got it in his mind that he can get away with loads of stuff. He thinks he can get away with loads of stuff against Spud Boy because he doesn't think anything's going to be coming back at him. And probably for the most part that might be true, but if Spud Boy just applies himself, gets down and dirty when it needs to be, it can cause Stub problems. And that problem there is right in the middle of the table. And already he's on a dodgy line here, and he's also on a dodgy line for that side pocket. And he's got to get the right angle on this yellow ball if he's going to shoot it up into the top corner. Must get the right angle on it. Well, he's going to have to get hold of this cue ball because he's going to let this leak away. He's going to have to get a hold of it a wee bit. Unless he thinks he can stun into the gap where the two reds are and come around behind the other red, he's taking a risk because, again, you don't really know what's going to happen with this cue ball. That's the problem. He's only guessing as to what's going to happen here. So he's not digging in, so he's not trying to hold the cue ball, so it looks as if he's going to let this run. Well, he's digging in now. And that's the problem. So Spud Boy, get yourself ready. Stub's been caught out, and it all came due to the fact he didn't have the good angle on that cue ball there, and he had to get a hold of the cue ball. And of course he's hooked himself. So Spud Boy is in control here at this table. He can put Stub in trouble at will. And of course he's got to have Stub in trouble in order to deal with those two reds up top, because they're not going anywhere. And well, Stub has kicked and scratched. So now Spud Boy you've got a free shot to deal with the problem. And you can also get to the red next to the 8 ball as well. Now again, this is got to be done in the right order here. That's probably tighten the rail, that other one. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's nothing he can do. He can only just roll that in dead weight. And he's got to roll this in dead weight to start with. So his problems have already started. See how the cue ball's just going into the table. And even this cut is dodgy because you can't push it anywhere onto that rail or it won't go in. Now, what's to stop him just bumping that red and hooking stub on that 8 ball right now? Getting that red into the table, making it a better, more comfortable pot. Well, he's got it. I thought that was going to hang there. So far, so good. And now would be the good time to get rid of that red next to the 8 ball once he pots this one. Now this cue ball might come out above the 8 and be interfered with, and then he won't have quite as simple a pot. Well, Stub will have a go at the bank. He's got to get the cue ball out of the way because he's got to make the angle, make the line for the bank. The bank isn't, I don't think the bank's dead set. I think he's got to make the angle for it and get the cue ball out of the way. Looks good now doing it that way. Well, it's did everything but go in. Well, this is last chance saloon this time for Spud Boy. Well, now, just a gentle roll in the pocket and through for that red into the side. That's the way he should be going. He shouldn't be doing this. No, that's not the way I'd have done it. I'd have taken that one into the side and then you're rolling this in there for the 8. You can still do it, but not the way I would have went about it. You see, that's the problem. This is the problem, leaving this red like this. This could have been so much easier. Suddenly it's a tough out with this setup. Well, that looks good. He's got it. So now, don't do anything daft, like follow the 8 in. He's not that crazy. And don't put any big draw in it, like that. But anyway, the mistake was made. And the same as most players, some get caught out with the cue ball movement. And Spud Boy did the deed and got the job done. So a good start for Spud Boy. I'm looking to see if my chat and my phone has stalled again. Well, it's definitely the bottom of the screen on my phone. It's just a question to see whether it actually bloody well scrolls up. Right, so Stub in rack number 2 is on the reds and he really should be squaring this match up here. But again, it's all down to the lines he's going to have. Now, is he going to stay top side of those yellows for that red, or is he going to come back into the table? He's having a look. Now, the thing is, if you come through, you've got a dodgy cut and the cue ball's running loose. You've not got great control on getting on this last red here. So the other problem is the angle he's got in the pot. The cue ball wants to go away to the right. So this is not as simple as it might look. And he hasn't got onto the first red. That was probably the one he would have rather have took, but this is again a testy angle, he's got to let this run forward. So he's got to get a wee bit of running in the cue ball just to get it out off the rail. Oh well, he's up. That's crazy, isn't it? I mean, why didn't he just play the pot and run it and let the cue ball come into this? This is a perfect example of why Spud Boy is in this a lot more than he seems to think, because Stubb's going to do stupid stuff like that. Now Spud Boy again can bury him if he wants to. So he's got the problem with the two yellows here blocking each other. He can deal with that right now, but that's full commitment to getting out. The other problem is that yellow, although accessible up top, is interfered with the red if you're not in the best of line on it. And again, he's stuck one right onto the rail. I mean, that couldn't be any worse. It's pretty much on the rail. And now the other problem is he's put a yellow in the line with that other yellow up top. But of course, if you can get yourself further up the table, you can easily deal with that problem. He won't be doing that with this shot, though. Now, this is where you take your medicine. You either take that pot or you get rid of the problem ball here and just dink out for that as your next shot. So he's got two ways of doing this to get rid of these problem balls. Well, that's a good pace. Now, he's got a choice. The biggest concern I've got is that yellow being the last ball to try and pot and get the cue ball into this 8. It's never going to happen, because you've got to force that in and get the cue ball running, and balls at pace will not go in these pockets unless you're actually spot on, especially down the rails. It ain't going to happen. Now, if you cut that now, the cue balls come right across. It might bump the yellow, the red. But this is where you've got to juice this up, and if it catches any of the pockets, it will stay out. Got to get the cue ball up into the table, and that's the problem. Again, the main criticism there is I would never have left that yellow ball sitting there. That would have been dealt with earlier on in the visit, and I wouldn't have had that problem, because that was always going to be a problem to get that cue ball out of there with pace and pot that yellow at the same time. So Stubb now, he's a bit straight in this red. He's going to, well, see again, he's got no idea how this is going to react. I'm telling you that now. He's got no idea. You see, that's why he's finishing top of the red. And this is the same everybody's got when they come and play this game. Have no clue how this cue ball's reacting and how to deal with it, simply because nobody plays it. And he's got a touch like a sledgehammer. Of course, he's not hit a rail. And Spud Boy, you're staring at a 2-0 lead here, all from the mistakes that Stubb's making. And this is why you deal with him. I mean, he's ranting already. The cue ball is bullshit too. Of course it is. Stubb's really struggling. And he's there for the taking, Spud Boy. Well, that'll do it. Right, that's me. I'm a bit more comfortable now. Do you think Stubb watches any of the games back? No, he's got absolutely no interest. None whatsoever. I'll tell you what his only interest is. His only interest is sending me messages on Facebook at 6 o'clock in the morning when I've just started work. That's the only bloody interest he's got. I never even read the message. He sent me some usual garbage, garbled stubbish at 6 o'clock in the morning this morning, which obviously was like 1 o'clock in the morning his time. And Spud Boy, well, he couldn't have asked for a better start. What Spud Boy has done is what you have to do in every game you ever play, in any match, and that is punish your opponent for the mistakes. And Spud Boy's done that. And he's had a decent enough break. So this is a true test for Spud Boy, because now he's got a table at his mercy, and well, he's sitting good on a yellow, a fairly straight in yellow, and that yellow will go into this corner through the gap, believe it or not. It will go. The other problem's that one, if he's going to take yellows. Now, if it's reds, he's got one up the table, he's got one into the corner, and then again, you've got one sort of in the middle there that's not exactly that easily accessible. Watch the gap.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh, well, he's still on one. Now, this is just off angle, this red. It's just off angle, so he can pot it, and I think he can run forward and at least get to that one on the rail. Just got to watch the pace. Well, he's got a shot at it because he's got nothing else, and this is going to be the downfall, this red here, where it's sitting. Again, my problem is judging where the cue ball's going as well. When he pots this, it's going to come out into the table, but how far it's going to come out, I don't know. That's a good pot. Well, what do you do here? It won't go either way, that red. It's blocked with both corner pockets. That one doesn't bank, but he could do well by just putting it as close to this corner pocket as he can. He could have made a better job of it than that, though. But in actual fact, he's asking the question of Stub now. And of course, what Stubbs doing is he's doing Spud Boy a favour here, because he's potting the ball that blocks it into one pocket for that red, and so the pressure's on Stubb to get himself out here. So he's at least opened the table up for Spud Boy if Spud gets another sniff here. Now this again is just difficult to judge where he's going with the cue ball here. This ain't good. He's going to have to play the combo. If he plays the combo, the other yellow's coming down that way, so he should be okay. And he doesn't need to thump this, he just needs to make sure he gets it into the hole and let that other yellow just leak down that way. Now he's out of line though. He's got a testy cut. That's just as testy, that as well. So this is, it's just threatening to go wrong here. He's got to play a shot here to get on this next yellow off this one if he's potting this. You know, Stubb thinks most of the time Stubb thinks the solution is power. And that's going to be just as dodgy. Now again, he probably likes this pot better, but the cue ball's coming back that direction behind the 8 ball. That's the problem with this shot. Commentator's eye. No, he's playing it well, soft enough, but he's still got a dodgy pot. So Stubbs almost over the line in this rack to get his first one on the board, but it ain't over yet. Good pot, cue ball's running good as well. So he's held his nerve and he's going to get his start. What's next? Everything's bullshit according to Stubb. So rack number 4, Stubbs got a couple of balls and open table. You probably want to steer well clear of the reds because you've got 2 of them down the side rail, 1 up in the top rail, and the other, well, I mean, I suppose if you decide in the yellows, you've got to deal with the 2 yellows on the left side of the table, and that's not exactly a given he's going to be able to do that. Well, he did try to do it, and now he's got no shot. He can't get enough of that one up there to get it over the hole. He's got a gap where he can play this as a combo and try and get that in or over the pocket, that second yellow. He's got enough of a gap. That was well done. This yellow over the side pocket goes no problem. I think he's fine. And he's going to hold this to come away from the yellow. And he's got to watch how much he gets into this and what the pace is. And this is again another little tricky one. Now normally if this was 9 ball, he'd be potting that and coming straight across the table for the 8 into the same pocket. He would play that without, without thinking. You see again the cue ball's just trying to get away on him. He's still got a fair chance of this going in though. So this is a break and run for Stubb, isn't it? I think pretty much it is. So a good response from Stubb. 2-0 down, back all square. Spud boy breaking in rack number 5. Red's gone in. Another red's gone in. Cue ball stayed in the table. And, well, the reds look very inviting. However, the first shot here is the important one because you need to just get a hold of the cue ball a bit because you want to go through the gap to one of these up the table or be able to maybe see the one over the side. So if you just play this plain ball, you're running into the yellow. He's brushed off it.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear. That's the problem with that shot. He had to jack up to get a hold of the cue ball and stop it from just running forward because then you're not playing it with... you weren't playing that as a controlled shot. And of course he's brushed the yellow and then he's scratched, which is another fatality. And that's a gift for Stub. And Stub, of course, with the free shot, has already got rid of one of the reds, and the table's still open. So this is a gift and a half for Stub. Well, he obviously wants to run forward here to have a straight 8 ball. He's left it a wee bit short, but he's see, the fact that he's a wee bit short, suddenly that yellow doubles in size. And that's what you've got to ignore. It wants to reach out and grab this 8 ball as it's going past. Well, the mistake this time was definitely Spud, boys. You see what I mean about that yellow ball? Well, there you go, Spud. You've been reprieved. But going back to that shot that Spud Boy had, you've got to play the right shot. Now, if in your mind you know that you want to hold the cue ball, then you've got to play that shot. You can't be letting the cue ball run and hoping. There's too many people play games like this hoping things are going to happen. You've got to execute the right shot, and he knew fine well he should have been holding the cue ball to get through the gap. And, well, at least he's got one of his yellows in a better position. Stub trying a double bank. And this is your last chance, Spud Boy. You've got a table here that's there for the taking. As long as you just take your time and know where you're going. The general rules are always the same. Know where you're going before you make your first move. It's the best advice I can give anybody. Once you've got that in your head, you've got your roadmap of where you're going. But I'd be wanting to come down here, off that one in the side pocket, and getting down onto these 3 that are down this end of the table. Because that line that these are sitting on worry me. This is why I'd much rather get down this end and try and deal with that and deal with this into the side. Well, that'll do very nicely indeed. Now, this is just a little dink. A little dink. And just stop the cue ball running away. That's perfect. Now, the angle he's got, I don't know that he can hold it to be comfortable in this one. I'm not convinced, but either or, he's got to get rid of that into the middle first of all. Yeah, you see it's just leaked away, but everything's still good. Now, that one into the corner, that one into the side, as long as you've got the right angle. Now, you see now the cue ball's leaked away. Now it's just threatening to go pear-shaped. This is why it's so tricky a game to master in such a short period of time. Well, I think you've got to get the cue ball running here. You've got to get bottom side of this yellow one way or another. Oh, he's miles away from it. Well, he did get bottom side of it. And Stub's going to be having a cut here. Because it will cut. Got to get it thin. But that's an opportunity missed there for Spud Boy. And it's 3 in a row for Stub. And balls have gone in. And there's a problem right on top of the cue ball here with these reds and yellows. So it's a bit of a mess to be dealt with here. Stub ranting about the cue ball still. He's still ranting about the cue ball. Well, he's doing his best to try and free up the reds. He's still got one major problem. And the fact that he's on that red next to the 8 ball right now, I'm surprised he didn't take it. That one that's inside the 8 ball, I'm surprised he never took that red when he was on it. He was perfectly on it to get rid of it. Well, that's half the battle. The other problem's, of course, that one. Well, I mean, that red where it's sitting isn't causing any problem for Spud Boy with these 2 yellows. Now, if you've got any intention of winning this rack, I think you've got to take that one right now and get it in or over the hole. That's the one to get rid of. Regardless of whether Stubbs red's there or not, I think you've got to be committed. And that's dealt with that problem. Now, the problem here is you would normally think you could stun that in and squat round the back of this yellow. It might be still too much of an angle. I think it is. I think if you sort of try to pinch some of that, it's far too much an angle. That bump in the red won't do him any harm. Now, problem again is if he was taking that one, he's got to hit this yellow to get the cue ball out. He's going to have to leave it. And of course, the other issue would be that if he's going to pot these last 2, then there's no path for the 8 ball there, and this yellow's blocking the path for the 8 ball, so he's still got to deal with that. Now, there is a point where you've got to duck, and this is another thing that players keep forgetting about. And now he's got no shot. Now he's in trouble. Well, an extremely dodgy cut into the side. Oh, now that got a wee brush off the 8 ball. And at least it's made the 8 ball awkward. So this is far from simple. And Stubbs going to try and play the combo and bump into this 8 ball. I'm pretty certain of it. Yeah, I think he was hoping he was going to draw and catch the 8 ball there, maybe. And the red does pass the other one. And that 8 ball, if you're playing any sort of cut in this 8 ball, you've got to hit this flush, or it ain't going to go. Well, there you go, Spud Boy. You've got to get this yellow and drop that other yellow into the side, but the cue ball's got to be trying to get it flush to the side rail as he can. This is just a complete dead weight drop. Now you've got to watch that knuckle, that you're not taking any of it. And that's about as good as you could get there. That's perfect. So again, everything that Spud Boy has won so far is all from errors by Stub. And we're back to 3 apiece. And Spud Boy has broken dry in rack number 7, I think. And we've got 3 yellows clustered in the bottom right. And we've got reds covering the top right pocket. Stubbs on a red into the side. He's got 1 isolated red. And he's got him sighted right onto the spot to get rid of that problem red. Question is whether he's going to try and hold the cue ball and give him a 2-way shot here. He could have a 2-way shot where if he ends up good on that one, he could drop that into the side. Now, if he doesn't deal with that right now, he could live to regret it, because that red there is going to be a problem. That's the one he should be getting rid of right now, because he's on it. And he's got a bailout red up the table there. And he can't go to the far jaw with this. This has to go in the pocket, because it won't go into the pocket on any of the jaw. We've seen it 100 times. And he's pushed it to the near jaw. But at least it's in a better position. Well, at least it's not stuck behind the 8 ball. But it's not quite stuck to the short rail. And of course, Stubbs now got control of that top right hand pocket. So Spud Boy, he's got a difficult task here, because you've got Stubbs reds at both ends of the table. And he's freed up his yellows a wee bit. He's left Stub the combo. And Stub having a blast, almost scratching. And Stubb's going to lose this rack through recklessness if he doesn't be careful here. You know, Spud Boy's just got to mind what he's doing. He's not the favourite to win this rack, Spud Boy, at the moment, the way the table's lying. Well, he's trying to make it as nasty as he can, and that's reasonable enough. It's left it really awkward for Stub. I don't think he can get enough of that red up top to play the combo, so that's pretty good. Well, Stubbs played the bank, used the big pocket with the yellows been there. But he's also got the problem now that he's going to keep potting balls here. And this red down here is the one that's the big ask, because you've got to play a really, really good shot to get in there, especially if you're intending to leave that as the last ball. Well, that hasn't worked out. So Spud Boy, you better get on your toes, because now Stubbs playing for flukes. And
where's the cue ball going?
You're a bit too late, John. And now letting the cue ball run loose. He's gifted Spud Boy another opportunity here. But I think, you know, anybody that's watching, you can tell straight away that there is no way in hell is Stubb going to come out and win this tournament. He's got no chance. He's got a potter's chance when the balls are there to be potted. But in terms of how to play the game, he's never going to sustain a level of play that's going to win him enough matches to survive in this tournament. No way. There's too much quality there that'll easily get rid of him. Oh dear, Spud Boy. That's a fatal mistake there. You've got to get a ball to a rail, and you've just gifted it and a plate to Stubb. Now that's numpty stuff that you can't be doing. You've got to cut out the numpty stuff. That's a fatal mistake there. That's just marked that up on the scoreboard, because you had the table at your mercy there, and unforced errors like that, that's a no-no. You're not doing yourself any favours. And, you know, Stubb breathes a sigh of relief. He gets let off the hook. He goes back into the lead. So that's the first real big boo-boo that Spud Boy's done there. Faffing about, trying to be cute and touchy, and doesn't get a ball to a rail. That's a cardinal sin. Right, so we've still got an open table. Stubbs had a go at the red, and you've got a red that I don't think's all that accessible. The one that Spud Boy's cues are looking at right now. No, I don't think you can pot that. So, regardless of whatever set of balls that you take here, there's a problem. Yellow's tied up with the red, red's tied up with the yellow. So something needs a bump. Well, he can certainly play the combo here. Well, now I'm not exactly sure what Spud Boy's up to. So Stubb on the yellows. Now he's going to... Is he going to try and do something silly here? Well, he hasn't got a shot, really. He might be able to billiard it off the red. That's what he's tried. There's a good effort there, but again, you see how it catches any of that green cushion there. If it catches any of it, the ball's never going in. But it was a good attempt. Right, so Spud's got the red over the pocket up table as we look. And Stubbs just trying to get his yellow ball in at least a potable position, which he has done. So that's now called Spud Boy's bluff as far as that goes. But the other end of the table's the main problem for Stubb. And what Spud Boy doesn't want to do is do anything to touch that red up the top there in that corner. See, that's always been the surprise to me as to why Spectre Dawn doesn't play in this. I don't think he's ever given a second thought to black ball at all. There's plenty of these tournaments he could have been in, but he just doesn't go near them. And that, you know, that cuts down his chances of winning his maiden virtual world title in any of the departments. He just only plays, well, he's only played 8 ball, 10 ball and 9 ball, really. Nothing else. Stubbs still ranting in the chat. And meanwhile, Spud Boy would he would do well just to cut that red and try and better it. That's all he should be doing here, and watching he doesn't scratch with the cue ball. He does not want to give Stubb a free shot, and that will do. In fact, it's gone in. So now Spud Boy is just going to hit his red and get to a rail. That's all he should be doing. I mean, he can see it, so you can skim the edge of it and just get a ball to a rail. That'll do. So there will be a right time to make a move here for Spud Boy. Now what Stubbs should be doing is just pushing that yellow on the left side there and hooking Spud Boy. Even Stubbs not thinking. He should be forcing Spud Boy to kick. You know, Stubb needs a free shot to deal with a problem, and he could have easily given himself an opportunity there by hooking Spud Boy and forcing him to kick. I don't understand that. I mean, when he's down here, he could easily just clip the yellow, go to a rail and duck. And Spud Boy's got no sight of any of his 2 balls. And it wouldn't have been a simple kick shot either. Cue ball almost gone. So it's now getting to the critical time in this rack where Stubbs going to be running the cue ball, trying to bang things to knock that red in over that pocket there. Now, I think that Spud Boy should just be doing the same thing again. Just hit the edge of this red, get to a rail, and let Stubb make the mistake. There's nothing else you can do. Stubbs going to be banging balls to try and free up that yellow over the corner pocket. Knock the red in. Too annoying to try with this shit game. I can try, but this shit's too annoying. What the hell's he talking about? Rant, 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 rant. But rest assured he's going to keep banging until he eventually somehow knocks that red in. And Spud Boy's done, well, he's been limited in what he can do because he could barely see the edge of his red in the last 2 shots he's had, but he's done the right thing. Because this is trying Stubbs' patience as well. And cue ball's gone. And now...
Where's the cue ball going?
It's gone in the hole, John. Now Stubbs got to be committed. Not Stubb, Spud. And this is a problem because, first of all, that red, you want to take that red or you want to better it. The other problem is if he leaves that as his last ball to get to the 8 ball, then It's going to be a straight one, so he's banking it. Is it going to hit the yellow? Well, now he's got to duck again. He's played his free shot. I mean, he could bank the red, but the danger is if he actually banks it and pots it, this cue ball might leak away and he won't be able to see his red. He's got no room there at all to work with. Now he's got to be careful here. So that's one opportunity gone. I barely know the rules for this game, let alone Stub. Well, Stubbs actually got Spud in trouble here. Now this could be fatal if he doesn't get the hit, because then Stubb will have what he wants. He wants that free shot to deal with the problem. And of course he doesn't need to hit a rail. He's got the hit. Stubb doesn't get his free shot. So he's going to be a bit pissed at that. So now he's going to have a bang here. He's going to have a bang and try and come down and carom that yellow onto the red. Well, he tried to play it more controlled, and I think the line was actually pretty good there. That cue ball was taking a good line, just that it ran into the yellow because he didn't pot it. So now, what do you do, Spud boy? I mean, why not have a bank up and down and try and make the combo yourself and go for the throw it? But again, watch where the cue ball's going. That's my advice. Shot clock's expired. What the hell's going on here? Oh dear. Well, that's another fatal mistake by Spud Boy at the wrong time. He's let the clock run down. You get 2 extensions in each rack. And Spud Boy's lost the count. And this is a gift for Stubb with his free shot to deal with the problem. Well, he's not finished ideal on this yellow. Stubb obviously doesn't want to take his yellow that's over the pocket right now. He wants to deal with this dodgy yellow that he's sitting on, and he's got it. That was well done. And he shouldn't have any more ambitions other than just to come off the rail and see this 8 ball. Well, the Spud Boys made 2 big glaring errors that have given racks to Stubb, and that's why Stubb's now got a 2-rack lead. Simple as that. Didn't hit a rail in the previous rack, gifted the free shot to Stubb, and then let the shot clock run out in this rack and gifted the free shot to Stubb. So these mistakes suddenly mount up big time. You know, Spud Boy's been in the match up until now because of Stubb's mistakes, and now it's reversed. Spud Boy's the one that's making the mistakes, that's letting Stubb stay in it. Stubb should give it back. He shouldn't give anything back when the clock runs down. That's why there's a shot clock. Don't start talking all that namby-pamby bullshit, Spud Boy. Oh, welcome to Slim. Ah, that works. That subscription works, Slim. Welcome. That's one way of testing it. And Botrix has responded. Thank you for the member one, but it could have worded that bloody well better, couldn't it? It was an accident. I'm sorry, I don't do refunds. Oh dear. I think I need to do a refresh in this camera. Hang on a minute. Hang on a wee minute here. I'll be back in a second. I think I need to do a... Oh shit, wait a minute. Just bear with us. That's what I wanted to do. I'm just doing a calibrate on my webcam right now. I'll be back with you in a minute. Hopefully that should be it. I think, no, it's not looking any better. I'm coming and going as far as the background removal thing goes. Maybe it's my lighting. Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, what have we missed here? Well, Spud Boy, better get ready here. Stub didn't get the hit. Now, this is where he just dinks in behind us. Oh no, he hasn't played that very well. Had to play that just so that he was nudging in the back of it and hooking him. And Stub taking the opportunity, and that's a great shot. Excellent shot. Well, Spud Boy asked for that because he should have had Stub in trouble there. That's a very well played shot. And now Stub gets his reward because Spud Boy hasn't hit the ball. And Spud is letting this drift away from him. And he sort of walked into that one as well because he didn't get the hook. Now, he really should have just spun that cue ball. I think he actually caught the knuckle. And he should have just dropped it in behind here and hooked Stub and let him make the mistake. So 3 racks have gone a-begging here, and all pretty much self-inflicted damage for Spud Boy. It's the wheels are just beginning to come off here. Everything was going okay at the start. Stub was making a mistake. Spud Boy was taking advantage of the mistakes. Got it to 3 apiece, and then suddenly anything that could go wrong from self-inflicted damage has pretty much happened to Spud Boy, and that's why Stubbs found himself 3 racks in the lead here now. Well, we know what you tried, Spud Boy. That was the theory. We know what you tried. Well, this is a pretty good table, apart from the fact the 8-ball's tied up. If you're actually going for the reds, obviously. So Stubbs going to be he's going to be hard pushed to be actually getting anywhere near this 8-ball off any of these reds unless he gets on this one somewhere or another. That one's not exactly all that accessible. So this is not a foregone conclusion, this rack. Far from it. Now you might see him having a bang. Yeah, you may well see him having some sort of bang here, trying to get the things moving. I don't know that he's actually sitting at a convenient angle to do it, though. No, he isn't. And went right through the gap. And he's on nothing apart from he's red up in the open there. You see, this if I'm Spud Boy and I'm watching Stub doing this right now, I'm thinking that, you know, he's going to keep banging stuff to try and free up this 8-ball and get lucky and go on that last red. But if I'm Spud Boy, I'm thinking, you know, I've got balls close together here and I can put Stub in trouble. And I can look for that free shot from a mistake from Stub. I mean, this is no great angle to try and do anything, but he's tried. Now, and now he's hooked, but he's got an easy hit in the red. There's no problem hitting it. But he's going to give this a good pop as well, I think. In fact, there was no problem hitting it, but he never even get near it. So again, he's struggling to read the angles. And what he's actually done is he's messed it up even more for Spud Boy. He's tied up 2 more of his yellows over the side. But now he's deciding whether he's going to play this from the kitchen or from bulk, as we would call it. I honestly don't think it matters a great deal, but again, he can put Stub in so much trouble. But the only problem I would say is if Spud Boy does try to duck, he's got to make sure he doesn't leave a straightforward kick here for Stub. Because that red can easily be nudged into that side pocket. Well, that certainly isn't straightforward. Now, well, there's a very difficult line to judge, but I think you can spin this up a wee bit and come across, but it needs to be spot on to catch the edge of that and cut that in. That's what he's trying. And again, very difficult to judge, but he got the hit. And if anything, the red ball's sitting a lot better now for Stub. Well, I certainly wouldn't be moving that red over the corner, the yellow over the corner pocket. I believe in that there for the time being. He's got to get to a rail. He's got to a rail. All these balls to hide behind. Now, Stub's got a 3-railer, probably, to go around the corner, kick the rail and hit that. Well, he's hit it direct. And now he's got his red in amongst the yellows. And Spud can duck again. Well, he just wants to roll forward. He can roll forward and push his yellow to the rail. That's easy enough. But I think the biggest hindrance at the moment is obviously the red being in amongst the yellows. The other problem is that one's stuck in the rail. Now, I think the 8-ball ruins the line for... no, there is a gap. He can get there. So Spud's got a free shot again. Now, is he going to be fully committed and give these a bang and get things into the open and go for it? Or are we going to mess about here for another 25 minutes? Because I'm going to lose the will to live if that happens. Well, you see, that to me does nothing, because that's his free shot and all he's done is potted one of his balls. What he should have done there is bang these and get them open and go for the kill. You know, you can't just keep potting your balls, especially when you had the free shot to deal with the problem ball. You've got to show some balls that you're willing to have a go to try and win the rack. Just being, you know, just messing about and waiting on another free shot, you're going to run out of luck soon enough. Is that going to get to a rail? Yes, it has done. And now it's not quite as easy to duck. So he's backed himself into a corner here against Spud Boy. But, you know, going back to the first shot he had, if that was me, the free shot, I have to deal with my problem ball, which was that one that he's now just played. And now everything's in the open. And Stub has got a possible bank on here. And he's nailed it. But the cue ball's leaking away.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, good luck with this one. And to try and make the bank up and down, I mean, he can cross bank this. I think that's his best chance. He looks as if he's trying to cut this, believe it or not. This would be some shot. That's a great shot. What a shot that was. That's a superb shot. Shot of the night. And that's got him into a comfortable lead now. Well, Spud Boy, I'll say it. You pissed about too much. That opportunity with the free shot that you had was the time to make the move, and he faffed about potting his ball with the free shot. And again, the tactical side of thing, you've got to stay on top of it pretty much in most games, but in black ball certainly making the best use of that free shot at the right time. And Spud Boy refused that option and ended up paying the price because of it. So Stub from 3 apiece has now gone 7-4 in front, 7-3 in front. What's the score of the snooker, boys? Any update for me, please? How long have we been going here? We've been going an hour and 11 minutes. Stub on the reds. I don't even think he's got a shot here, though. No, not really. Well, that's a great shot. That was a very tiny gap that he found there. See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Stubbs he's got a potter's chance in this game, but all the rest of it, that's where he's going to struggle, like most players. Well, he might be actually forced into playing the bank on his red that's over on the left-hand side. I mean, ideally now would have been the time to play it, but the other red's blocking the pocket. And he might not get as good as where he is right now in that red. You see now, Stubbs doing the same thing that Spud Boy's doing. He's keeping potting balls here to try and stay at the table. And Spud Boy has got a table set up that's pretty good for him if he can make the use of it. So it's just, what time is it anyway? You're right enough, it has just started. I forgot, because we'll be doing all that faffing about since 7 o'clock. Once we've done all the big build-up stuff. I won't see the end of the snooker anyway unless Judd Trump wins a stack of frames. I was watching that Mark Allen match last night and there's no way I could ever see the end of that. I was long gone. It finished at 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, there's your chance, Spud Boy. You've got the free shot. You've got everything in your favour. And you should be dealing with that yellow that's on the rail where you are right now. That's what you should be dealing with. The one that's right next to the cue ball. And this is dodgy because this yellow could, as long as it either goes in or stays in the pocket, that'll do it. Now let's look at the 8 ball. The assumption is Spud Boy's going to get to the 8 ball. Now I would have hit that a bit harder for a start, but I think he's still fine. He can still come out, but he wants to get out far enough on this yellow. And not too far. Not too far. Right, now. Deadweight dink, 8 ball into the side. Couldn't be simpler. And he's let that roll through, so it's just slightly off angle. But again, any of that jaw, it doesn't go in. Like that. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you. And, well, this is a bit like it's not quite the same as Brain Fallout's match, but when you start counting up all the chances that Spud Boy has given to Stubb to have this 7-3 lead, which is now about to be an 8-3 lead, this is where you start kicking yourself if you're Spud Boy. You know, and if you can cut out that sort of stuff, you're well in the match. You were well in the match at 3 apiece, and now it's ran away. And it's not quite a bloodbath, as Spud Boy predicted, but he's doing his best to make it one, though. I'll give him that. I'll give him that credit. It was all going pretty good early on. You have tried to tell everyone, but it's not been a bloodbath, and it could have been a lot better than this. Well, Stubb is, of course, now in his comfort zone. He's got a healthy lead. He's finding his feet with the table a wee bit more with the touch. Because this is, you know, apart from the fact it's a match, it's basically a practice session as well for pretty much every player that plays their first match in this tournament. Because I'm pretty certain none of them are practicing at all. Look at the way these reds are all sitting there. They're sitting there like cherries waiting to be picked. They're like plums in a tree waiting to be picked. That's if you can get to the table, that is. Now this has got to be done careful here, because again this cue ball could leak away behind a red here. Well, he's pumped both of them. Again, this is not ideal. It is far from ideal. He's hampered by the red. He's going to play this at long distance. And he's left Spud Boy a chance. Now, the one thing Stubb has to realise, and he will realise that soon enough, is that when he leaves tables like this, for some of the opposition that he's going to meet later in this tournament. These balls are all going to go. Well, that's suddenly become 10 times more difficult now. So Spud Boy's done the right thing. Stop potting balls and duck. And now, fingers crossed, you get lucky. Well, Stub has found his line. Got a good kick. Got a long 8-ball, but he's had a bang at it. Now again, did he just take that for granted? I mean, that is so careless. You know, Stubbs now got it in his mind the match is won, so he's now just banging at stuff and not really giving it 100% attention. Well, you know, he's going to pay for that further on in the tournament, no doubt about it. And Spud Boy really needs to make him pay for that. Got to make him pay for it. Well, I'd be dealing with the one up there first of all. You know, that's got to be dealt with. Got to deal with the one that you're up on. You might be having to leave a dodgy cut in this one here. Now, the good thing about this shot is that if you play this, not with a great deal of pace, but enough where the cue ball's running out, well, he's not hit it. But at least he's got it to a rail and he's forcing Stubb to play the cut, but he's given Stubb the shot. That's the problem. And that's well played. Great cut. Well, I would have hit that harder for the simple reason that the cue ball would have come out into the table and Stubb wouldn't have had... Well, he certainly would have been less comfortable, even though that wasn't a comfortable cut. And there was always a chance that had I got the pot, that the cue ball was out far enough for my last red into the side. That would have been my thinking. But as it is, the match is now pretty much gone for Spud Boy. Stubb with a very healthy 9-3 lead. Trying to improve the situation. Let's have a look at the 8-ball. Well, I think the 8-ball goes into the corner when everything's out the way. And it goes into the side as well. Oh, hang on a minute. Well, it tried to go into the side, and Stubbs now got himself hooked behind the knuckle. He's got a hit. Well, this 8-ball can easily be accidentally bumped into the pocket. If you start banging at balls, I'll have a quick drink. I've got almost half of this 5-litre bottle at the moment. I've got one more left downstairs and then I'll have to buy some more. I haven't drunk tap water in what must be 20 odd years. Well, I suppose that's a bit of a lie, because yes, I do drink tap water because I drink it in my tea. But I don't have a glass of water, because the the water tastes horrible. Well, Stub has now got the pockets open because Spud Boy has gone full blooded here to try and get out. Any mistake? Well, that's a mistake. He's just done it straight away. Miscue, another gift. Well, I think we're on to our second hand here in terms of fingers, in terms of the amount of racks that Spud Boy is gifting to Stub with these mistakes. Mistakes at entirely the wrong time, and it's another gift handed in a plate to Stub to get to the hill. Well, Spud Boy's determined to make it a bloodbath, and he's certainly made it. He's made it good in the second half of this match, no doubt about that. Shot himself in the foot that many times. He's walking about in stumps. And it's been all too comfortable in the end for Stub. I think he's come up dry there, though. Well, not long left in this match. So, while that's happening, let's just have a little update here. See where things are going. First of all, I don't think Larry's heard anything from LS3, so Larry will get a bye. We've only got another couple of days to go for the timeout on these round 2 matches. So it looks like Larry will be playing Cheeky Chico in round 3. Bankster's already lined up with MC Clarkey, and Bankster, I think, could be a dark horse in this tournament. I think he played very well last night against Slugs. And then, of course, you've got Semi-Pro, who's going to be playing Stub in round 3, and Albinario playing Cold as Pillow. So that's where we stand. And we've got that one match on the one loss side that's going to be played tomorrow afternoon between Brain Plout and Linus. And meanwhile, Spud Boy at the table, well, he was there for a split second, but we need to look at that yellow. That yellow will go in off the red if you play it gentle enough. It will go into the side pocket, no doubt about that. Good evening to Tam. It'll be good evening and goodbye, Tam. It won't be hanging about long. 6-3 to Trump now. Well, the one thing that's certain about Welsh water, you've got bloody plenty of it. It must piss down a lot more down in Wales than it does up here. Well, the yellow did go in off the red because Stub banged the cue ball into it, but now he's hooked. Commentators I called that one, but not played exactly that way though. I think that's a free shot to Spud Boy here. Right, now, can Spud Boy find his way out here? Because that's the one to get rid of. Now he's sort of a little bit in between. And the cue ball's going to leak away. And now, again, if you were 100% confident, you'd knock that in and bring the cue ball back up table. but he's now in a dodgy situation where he's going to be hooked in the 8. Well, just give it a bang and get your fingers crossed. Well, hasn't quite got a roll of the ball. So one good pot in this yellow. And he's got to let that cue ball run out, and he has done. And Stub. Well, it's a big step up in class next, Stub. I think it won't be long before Stubbs joining you, Spud Boy, in that one-loss side. So an 11-3 win for Stub, Real Poland Power. And he now will meet Semi-Pro in that round 3 match. So that's one to look forward to. Also the Bankster MC Clarkey match. And remember that deadline for Larry will be in a couple of days' time, Wednesday at 11 PM to be exact. Has anybody seen LS3 in the lobby like over the weekend at all? I've not seen it. And there's the one match remaining on schedule. That's tomorrow. I won't be there for that because I'll be coming home at that time. Right, that's it, folks. I'm off to catch some of the snooker before I go to bed. Thanks for One Pocket Slim's subscription. And thanks for your company, guys. And I will bid you good night and good luck to Stub in his next match. And good luck to Spud as well. Get a wee bit more table time and practice in, Spud Boy, to try and survive. And we'll see you again soon. Take care and good night.
Bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.